Well, hello, hello, hello. We had to do an alternate. I tell you, it was some alternate things going on. And it doesn't matter how you start out, but how you end, right? So tonight is a little different, and we want to make sure that you are listening to Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and I am your host, Ayanna Smith, and I help people in the financial arena, help them make and save money. And I am a financial professional, a life insurance broker, and I love to help women drill down and finding their niche in building up their money through different streams. And we're going to talk about some of those things on the broadcast since we have had a few. Let's say you just let the show go on. So here we are. And for those of you all who are coming in, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and that you watch the replay. And if you are watching this later, I'll make sure that it is downloadable and we'll just push it out to all of the other outlets in its due time. Okay? So, welcome to Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. And again, I am your host. So let me know that you're here by providing some hearts and all that good stuff. And we're going to get ready to jump right into our live this evening and to get everything going, get all of our stuff moving, hopping, and shaking. Of course, let's make sure that we don't have have anything coming on and have any interruptions, but I want to make sure that you are hearing me this evening. So we're going to talk about 5 tips, 5 things that women can do to build their wealth. Now, you all know that I have a book, an anthology. An anthology was created, and we put this book together, Building Wealth, and it includes entrepreneurial, professional, and financial expertise unlocked. And so make sure that you are able to get your copies. I'll make sure I put the link in the comments so that you can get your copy. And it can be mailed out to you, or we can see each other personally if you live near me, and get all of that stuff going and have everything all intact so that you can get some insights from 5 wonderful ladies, including myself, and they are all in the financial space, and they are Yulika Kimber, Katrina Walker Garrett, Samantha Bond, and Dr. Tashana Taylor. So, hey, you do not want to miss getting this book in your hands, because my chapter, I'll give you a little secret. My chapter is called, or it said, life insurance are not curse words, and they aren't. So we're going to talk a little bit about how they are not curse words, and make sure that you get a copy of the book so that you can delve into it and understand what you need to understand about selecting a financial professional to help you get to your elevated, and your elevation and your desired place in life and in business. All right, so we're going to jump on in to looking at 5 things that will help women to build wealth, empowering you to build wealth. And of course, men, grab on, because you may have a significant other, your wife even, who is your partner in business, or you just love her so much until, hey, you want to make sure she's growing and you all are building together. So we want to talk a little bit this evening about the first thing, of course, is closing the gender wealth gap. And there is a wealth gap because oftentimes men are paid more than women in many cases. And we think sometimes that we can't negotiate our salaries. But there are latitudes and the provisions for that if we know how to work that avenue. And of course, making sure that we're getting what we are worth. Sometimes, people say, well, hey, for me to really get what I'm worth, I do have to delve into entrepreneurship. And why not? Delve into it. Go into it. Some people do it dualistically with their W-2. They let their W-2 fund their entrepreneurship journey. And some jump all the way out there and they're full entrepreneurs and they fund everything. Everything is funded by them. and there's nothing wrong with that. And some people blend it together, or they have a committed spouse that will help feed into that endeavor, and one works the W-2 while one is an entrepreneur. But either way it works, it will work if you're working together, or if you have your plan in place for it to go and jump off without a hitch. Now, of course, you know, when I say jump off without a hitch, I don't mean that you won't have any up and down times. That's life. However, you can make it work, and you can work on closing that gender wealth gap by getting paid for the things you love to do. I always tell people, if you cook, you clean, you babysit, whatever, do that. You sing, you dance, whatever you can get paid for doing, do it. Out of your, basically out of your hobbies, that's your money. If you're able to shift it down into a business, get a business plan, get those things in order, that's your money. So that will help to close that wealth gap between men and women, and also, fight for what you desire and for what you want. If it's getting another certificate, degree, what have you, fight for it. Just make sure that you're not upside down and getting a degree and then you've paid bunches of money, and then you're not going to make that money when you get into that workforce or that workspace. So there's some things to consider, but look up about that national wealth gap. There is a special day. I forgot the day exactly, the date of it, but it's usually around that summertime, fall time, talking about the wealth gap, getting our money, getting what we deserve. And then that can even delve into not only the gender gap, but sometimes it even goes into ethnic groups and what people get paid. So that's something to study, but that is a way to focus, ladies, on getting your money up by blending what you love to do with what you already do and go from there. All right, so some of the next things we're going to look at is investing for women. Now, looking at investing for women, of course, I always talk about what I lead out with is your life insurance, and making sure that you have appropriate coverages, making sure that even if you are a homemaker, you don't work outside the home, you still matter and you still need coverage. Anybody that knows anyone who is a homemaker, please have them to call me, because it is so imperative that you are properly covered, and that you invest in yourself to bridge that gap. And knowing that here is the thing: if you're a homemaker, you do have a job. You have multiple jobs. You're the one that stays home, takes care of children, or takes care of the home. All those things. Nobody, think about it like this: the Ubers, the Lyfts, whatever, ride sharing. You are the ride share. You're the ride share person. You take people everywhere. You go to the doctor's appointments. You pick up medications. You do the running. You do the cleaning. You do the cooking. And if that's what you do, and you say, well, I don't have a job outside the home, it doesn't matter. You still need coverage. And so that's a way to invest in yourself, so that one day you can retire from that. Sometimes people probably think, oh, goodness, retire from homemaking? That never ends. But the intensity of it, we may not be able to move and maneuver, or want to maneuver and move at the same intensity as we did when we were younger. So we want to then later maybe hire somebody to do the cooking and the cleaning and the washing clothes and all that, while we are off in the French Riviera enjoying ourselves, taking trips and having a great time. But if we've invested in ourselves, put life insurance policies in place, that is a form of investing in yourself. That is a form of having coverage. If the homemaker got sick, the homemaker wants to finally retire, wants to live too long, passed away too soon, somebody would have to then fill in those jobs and those gaps where the homemaker was just doing that, what we say, for free. Not for free. When you have to then turn around and realize, wow, we have to reshape our lives so that we can get someone to cook, clean, wash clothes, and all that stuff like that. That takes money to hire people out for each job that homemaker did. So the homemaker usually has about, let's say, 15 hats that they may wear. And then all those, if they were to pass away or get sick, they need somebody to cover in. Same thing as when I talk to people about how much insurance and all that you need. Think about adding up all of the things that the homemaker does, or think about adding up all of the things that you do with your salary and all that included. Those things you would want to make sure you have the coverage at least 10 times your salary. You say, hey, I don't have a salary. But I would endeavor to say, if you do the breakdown on, especially with that homemaker, do the breakdown, you'll find that that salary will probably be about $100,000 to $200,000 on a low end on what that person really does, because it's all rolled up into one person. So make sure that you have enough coverage and that you're investing not only in the life insurance and putting things away, but think about sometimes you include yourself in stocks, some things in the mutual fund arena, different retirement accounts. High yield savings accounts are really a hot topic now. That is something to discuss and look into. It's high yield because it produces so much more money at a faster pace than just normal savings and all that alone. So that's something to look into. That's something to think about, and that's something to make sure that you are delving into and expanding your horizons on how you're going to invest and save your money. Also, another thing, looking at when I talked about, I always have to double back with life insurance, making sure that you have long-term care policies and living benefits policies if you qualify for that. If your health is good and you can get that, get it now. It's better to get it now than to wait till something pops up, because then it makes it very hard to get the coverages that are appropriate and that are needed and that are necessary to cover yourself and your family if you wait until sometimes your health gets in the way. So we want to make sure we get ahead of things and get your help, get all those things covered, get things in order. And that is a form of, it's not like life insurance is not, we don't like to term it and say it's an investment strategy, but it is a way to invest your money so that you're building for your future by covering your life, number one, covering yourself if you get too sick, and then also it does have a component where money can build. If you get the permanent type of life insurance, the money can build so that it can in turn be money that you can have later on, compound interest, building over time, not overnight, but over time, a length of time. So do that, and and that is a way that you can build up for yourself. Like I said, go back over the stocks, some of the bonds, mutual funds, retirement accounts, IRAs, Roth IRAs. If you're over 50, you can do some catching up and all that. Check my stuff out for a post. I'm gonna put a post up about making sure you can think about that IRA, and I don't delve into those, but I know that that's a piece that is very important. So make sure that you connect with somebody who can get you, all these pieces going and growing, so this money can grow for you, ladies. All right. Now the third thing we want to look at: entrepreneurship and side hustles. Now I kind of put this at the top when I talked about closing that wealth gender gap. The things that you love to do, the things that you do well, that is your time to explore in the lane of entrepreneurship. I know people, they love talking to people or they love helping people. They let that work for them. They become speakers, coaches, they're teachers, doctors, lawyers, all that. But they let those transferable skills, which I heard my great coach say, transferable skills are just that, transferable. If you love to help, you can figure out a way that you can help yourself to making more money. What I say, in the kitchen, cooking your food, making sure that watching children. I'm just kind of repeating what I just shared in point one, because these are the things that are going to make us money. Don't take it just as something small when you think, oh, I just do this or that. No, sometimes I like to bake food. I put it up. I'll show it, for example, for me. And then people say, wow, how much is it for that? And I may make something. Every now and then, get that together. Hey, pull what you can together. I know people who sell jewelry. They get their jewelry together, get on a live, or go to a vending event, and there they have cash coming in, and they have set themselves up so that they can earmark money for savings or paying off a certain bill. It is a way to make money and invest while you are investing yourself, while you are empowering and lifting yourself up. So you don't have to stay where you are. So make sure you explore those opportunities in entrepreneurship. Look at a business idea and look at that thing and help it come to life. If you need to get a coach, or you need to talk to someone who's already in business and they're successful, or they've been doing it for a while, whatever their business is, they will talk to you and it will all tell you, I can tell you, you have to overcome some challenges. Everybody has some common challenges, maybe capital, startup, keeping things going, clients, finding out how to market, putting your face on the business. Those are some of the things that may be some of the common challenges, but they are necessary in building a successful business. And basically, what we say sometimes, you wash, rinse, and repeat. If it has worked, let it work. If it's working, let it continue to work. If it doesn't work, get rid of it. Throw it out. It may not work for you, but don't die down and don't shirk back at building your dreams and making the money that you need to make. Don't give up on that. Not at all. Not ever. Not ever. And then number 4, once you are making your money, you find out, what you're going to do, how you're going to set that up and roll in those spaces of building up your professional, your professional job, the job that maybe you're doing the W-2 side of things, to looking at that 1099 or that full entrepreneurship where you're doing C Corps, S Corps, whatever you need to do to put your monies in place. Then you want to know how to plan financially. You want to know how are you going to be covered. Still goes back into investing, still goes back into looking at retirement accounts, still goes back into some of the things that I like to help people with by going into some of the silver, some of the commodities, some of the things that will help to build money in a residual way. Some things that will also help people to build and have to barter, because our dollar may not be our dollar tomorrow, and it's steadily declining, diminishing, and all that. But if we have gold, silver, some of the precious metal commodities, that is an opportunity. That is a way to build up money. And that is something that I'm able to help people with. So let's have a conversation about that, just to expand your knowledge on how do I get into the precious metal commodities, because it's something that will build up in wealth or build up in value over time, and it will give you bargaining power. So that's something to think about, in addition to your life insurance, yes. Your high yield savings accounts, yes. Your Roth IRAs, yes. Your stocks, yes. Your bonds, yes. Mutual funds, yes. But then you have the silver and the gold, that area that is kind of sometimes an untapped or unfamiliar, let me say this, an unfamiliar area to some. But we need to discuss that, and I'd love to speak to you about that, because that is something that is on the rise, on the move, and you're able to build your portfolio. It's a part of your portfolio and can be a part of your portfolio, just like the life insurance and all of the things that I just mentioned. Okay, and then here we are. Then you have to get yourself into creating a financial plan that is going to work for you, because in addition to all the things that you can invest in, of course we have to know, and we can't get away from it, know how to lay that foundation with the budgeting and know what we have going in and coming out. And I talked about that in the last session. We have to know how to budget, lay those things out, what's going in, what's coming out, what do we have at the bottom line with what we call our disposable income. making sure that we know where our money is going, making sure that as we are, let's go back to the entrepreneurship and the side things that we do, we make sure that we earmark the money to go where we want it to go. We tell our money where to go, because if we don't tell our money where to go, our money is just going to go somewhere and we won't even know where it went, because we may have spent it on our favorite latte or our favorite frappe or whatever. We may have spent it on our favorite, outfit or purse or what have you. And if we have not been made concerted efforts to write things down and determine, I have XYZ, or I need to have some extra money over here just in case my car breaks down, or just, God forbid, you have to get some dental work done, anything like that. Those things, sometimes if we don't have that chunk of money, and we know those are things that can come and just shock and rock you, if we don't have enough sitting to the side, that's where we have to take in consideration as we're budgeting, as we're thinking about taking care of the household bills, yes, and the things we like to do in addition to having a little fun with our funds. We don't want to just, everything is always, we work, pay bills, work, pay bills, work, pay bills, but we will find ourselves in a fix where we won't even be able to pay the bills if we don't earmark our money and tell it where to go and what to do in as it relates to building our portfolios, as it relates to closing the wealth gap, as it relates to investing, as it relates to funding our entrepreneurial endeavors. We're just being that vicious cycle, and we don't want to do that. So the thing is, we have to sit down. How I usually try to do with families and friends and the ladies, business owners, we talk about what you have going in, coming out, what's your disposable income, and then address the challenges that you may have, and then get on the path of setting up something long term so that you can reach that financial success. Think Rome, what is that phrase? Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing is built in a day, but if you have enough days, let me add this, if you have enough days and keep enough days, you will be successful in all that you do. And through the ups and downs and all that, you can still keep going, still keep growing, and still keep elevating. So as we come into our descent, because we're not going to belabor the time, but if you have some questions, please, let me stop here and say, if you have some questions, please put them in the comments upon the replay, #replay, all of that. If you you want to connect with me, of course, you can connect with me at www.askayanna.com. That's askayanna.com. And you can set a complimentary consultation up there on my calendar. And also, if you have my number and all that good stuff, all my contact information is on my website. All the ways to connect with me on social media outlets are on the website as well, and you can also leave your email, and I can connect with you, make sure that I keep you updated on different things that are going on with me and my company, and just having talks. I'm available to come and speak to your churches, your sororities, your civic organizations, your families. We can do family gatherings. Sometimes we always just want to gather, maybe for a family reunion, or sadly sometimes someone passes away and that's when we gather. But now's the time just to come together, have a good meal, somebody come in, talk, share a little bit about what we do, how we can help you, women and families, to close that wealth gap, invest some money, build upon your entrepreneurship mindset with your hobbies that you can turn into businesses, from hobbying to businessing, and let's make up some words, and then just planning on how you're going to follow through and plan and think of that mindset. And I know I talked a lot about the homemaker, but I really felt to impress upon that we have some homemakers that really think that they're not really significant and nobody needs to plan for them. But yes, you do need to plan for yourself if you are a homemaker, because you do so many things. So we can talk about that as well. But as we come down to our descent, We want to look at how we can build multiple streams of income. And building multiple streams of income, of course, is, diversifying our income. What different things can we do? We've been talking about this, really, that's the theme throughout what we've been sharing tonight. Find out what you do well, like to do. Everything can bring in some currency. Everything is moving. Learn how to move. Learn how to move where you want to go. Learn how to do, and what you do well, let it do well for you. Let people pay you for your professionalism. Let them pay you for the gift that you've been blessed to have. It is an avenue. Think about this. Before there was a W-2 system, farmers farmed. Shoemakers made shoes. People did things. They did vocational things that brought them money for their family. My backdrop, my family members were farmers. All of them didn't go to college. That was a later thing. We wanted to push people to go to college and all that. But hey, people sent. I know what let me tell a story quickly. My great-grandparents sent. They had 9 children. All of the children that wanted to go to college, they sent them, and they worked on a farm. They had a farm. So that was before the W-2 kicked in and people had jobs. They worked. Whatever they did by their hands, that was their position. So it is nothing wrong with it. There is a space for it. So it's really like the return of the entrepreneur is coming. So let your hobbies turn into businesses. And that helps you to 5, building multiple streams of income. Like I said, diversifying your income, looking at different ways you can build your income. We talked. Some people want to get into investing, not only in the stocks, bonds, the life insurance, the mutual funds, and everything like that. Some people go into real estate. Some people do that. That's a way to if you can get into that passive income side of things. They go into real estate. They go into freelancing. People are great writers. They will write blogs, or they will write for different companies. It is so many different ways. There's so many different ways that you can build multiple streams of income out of the gifts that you have. That's why we have our gifts, to not only bless others and, of course, serve others. And of course, people say the best thing that you can do, that it is just a gift to you, because you would do it if you didn't get paid for it. But there are people that will pay for your gift. So let that be something to add another stream of income. If you have a regular professional W-2 job, or wherever you work and you get a check, learn how to take that to build so you can make another check, multiple checks. Nothing wrong with it, is it? Okay. So that's a look. So we're going to go back and recap really quickly before we jump off. And we're looking at, first, we want to close that wealth gap. So make sure you look at the replay. Closing the gender wealth gap. That's 1. Learning how to invest, women. You got to invest. You got to put something into ourselves. Put good seeds in the ground, good seeds will come up. Harvest will come up. Looking at entrepreneurship. Taking our hobbies and turning them into businesses. Okay? 4, learning how to talk about our money, getting some plans in place, talking to a financial professional who can help you to plan for the future and helping you to get the appropriate coverage, helping you to be well-rounded on all sides, and looking at how you can build your funds for now and the future. And then 5, building multiple income streams. So you want to be able to do that by whatever ways you can legitimately. Like I said, I share some things. I help people with the commodities, and my main lead in would be the life insurance. There are opportunities to become life insurance professionals. Okay, most definitely we need life insurance professionals all around. It is not just, in the days of old where we may have had a certain person come by. I remember the little man would come by my grandmother's house. No, women are really running this industry a lot. It's still the traditional look of the industry, but the industry is changing. It has changed. So you want to know more about how to become and build up, get another license, something that's a professional career that's not going anywhere. Life insurance is a mainstay business. Look it up. It is mainstay and solid. Let's talk. You want to know more about the silver, gold, the precious commodities? Let's talk about that. We're going to learn about even some things with mortgages and paying off your mortgages early. I have a whole list on how you can pay your mortgage off in 5 to 7 years. Let's look at that. There are different things. There are different ways to bring in multiple streams of income. And then, of course, we go with the realtors. We go with people that are selling jewelry, baking cakes, making shirts, T-shirts, pretty garments, all types of items. These are multiple streams of income. Let's make sure that we are working them, and that we are doing our best to lift up who we are. You will. I cannot express this enough. You will find your best place coming from out of who you are. So, ladies, those are the 5 tips. I won't keep going, but those are the 5 tips that you really need to think about that will help you to excel and soar. And I hope that they kind of, got your mind to thinking, and got your heart to pumping a little bit to say, maybe I need to take my hobby and turn it into a business. Or maybe I do need to look at seeing how I can allocate some of my money that I make currently on my present job to fund my dream, to fund my business. How can I get these things going? Who can I get to support me and help me to come together and get my plan written out so that I can start my business? And then ultimately, do I have enough life insurance? And do I need to become a life insurance professional? Yeah. All those things are the questions that I would like to leave you with and call to action to making sure that you connect with me at www.askayanna.com. And remember to purchase a copy of the Building Wealth book, because it will give you some insights on business ownership and how you account for all of the monies that you make, and even your mindset. So we go from money to mindset to making sure that you're covered as a businesswoman, as a professional woman, just as a woman, period. So as we wrap up the Financial Awareness Month, it has been a joy and a pleasure to share and to make sure that we talk about some things that are pertinent to us elevating and growing. And remember the mantra here on Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, that money is always talking, even if we aren't talking about it. So make sure that we are talking about it, and that we are elevating so that we can be about it and have our money. So look forward to seeing you soon. Talk with you soon. Make sure you schedule a complimentary consultation, and have a great evening.